Started as an East Coast vibe, now I'm going worldwide. We got this bitch going crazy. I used to take the Mazda 4 drive, now I'm on the 405 like it's fuck you, pay me.
Hi, my name is Heather, aka Stoney Baloney, and this is the Stoney Baloney podcast. If you're expecting anything from this podcast, don't. But if there's one thing you will learn about me, is you never know what Stoney you're gonna get. This is the journey of one spicy, sarcastic entrepreneur who came out of her cannabis closet and has been blazing through life ever since. As a multi-passionate person who has lived from one coast to another, I know there is more to life than just a 9-to-5 grind. I hope to inspire others to try new things no matter how old you are, start doing things you love and turn them into your side hustles, and to simply stop giving a fuck how others want you to live your life. So when I was in the car and you rolled up with some bomb-ass sunglasses, by the way.
Dollar store.
Dude, I can't believe I'm not wearing them. I feel like that's like a Stoney Baloney thing. Maybe I should get some made.
Those sunglasses?
Yes.
I have 10 pairs, so.
There was one day I rolled up in this bitch looking straight like Sia. It was fresh blonde bangs and huge goggies.
Goggies.
So I know I asked you in the parking lot if I should smoke one more hit, and you said no, and I listened. Normally I don't listen, and
I'm powerful.
Glad that I did. But also I kind of had notes that I jotted down through the week to talk about on the podcast. And I didn't have a notebook, which is weird because I'm a notebook person. So I wrote it on this lid. And this bead animal is supporting the box lid. So that might fall down a couple times today. But I had Melinda last time for my episode called Ghost and Hash Rosins. Get it? Ghost and Goblins.
I didn't get it. What? I was like, what is happening?
Today, I want to say I tried smoking a joint from X-Rated today. I fucked up the joint. But also joints fuck me up. My throat can't handle it. Probably why Snoop Dogg just quit. But...
Quit
weed.
Joints? Oh.
Please respect his privacy. That's what he asked.
Shut up. Everyone except Martha Stewart respect my privacy. I think they're lovers.
Martha Stewart's the shit. I had to do an essay for school or something, or I think my mom's friend edited a resume for me, and she put that I look up to Rachel Ray. The fuck? Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Rachel Ray looks like a fart to me. I don't know what it is. That's really gross. I usually don't use that word, the F word, but that's just what came out. God damn it. Now if I need something or I win a grant or something for Rachel Ray, I'll get denied because of this podcast. No, I'm more of a Martha Stewart because she's a real bitch.
Yeah, she went to prison.
And
it's a hard time.
But if you look at old pictures of her and new pictures of her, she's just fucking thriving. And since the last time we were here, I acquired a deli.
So random. It sounds so random.
So we are going to go back into the ghost shit that we were talking about and ended with last week. This is a part 2. However, I acquired a deli since last time, so I feel like we need to talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
It happened. I can say they were running the business for 20 years in Churchville. I thought I was 5, but I also lived in Florida and California for a while, and didn't necessarily come back to Churchville right away. But I loved it there. It's right next to Shade. It's the cutest spot. And they retired. So the business was for sale. I don't know what happened, but then people decided to rent that space out because the people that own the business own the building. And I noticed that all the equipment was still in there, and 2 weeks ago they put the for rent sign up again, and I saw all the equipment was there, so I'm like, wait a minute, is this for rent with equipment? And before COVID, I started doing the private chef events, which were super fun, and I've been wanting to get back into that since I'm not at the place anymore. So I've been wanting to rent a kitchen, and it's like, well, it's right next to Shade. And the amount that it would cost to rent a kitchen, the price was something you couldn't give up. I don't fucking have money. I do not have money. Shade, this is my dead season. And I think a lot of business owners don't talk about their struggles. I think they just, act like they make it. Truth is, a lot of business owners, especially small business owners, have multiple sources of income, whether it's a full-time job, a part-time job, you're going somewhere, you're working remotely, or you have a side hustle. Like, I just signed up for Rover. I'm not used to not having money. I will admit, I was making good money there. So that is a huge difference for me to try and, come back from. However, I don't have credit cards. So I feel like I'm broke, but I'm not broke, because usually people take out credit cards and loans and all that other stuff. So now you're broke and now you're debting yourself. Yeah. So when things like this happen and I am in limbo of more work, I guess you could say, because I was working 50 something hours a week there, and probably at Shade 30 hours a week, and it's hard to be at Shade full time because spray tans take 15 minutes. Yeah. So even if I have 6 spray tans a day, that's 2 to 3 hours of my life. So people don't understand, and I try not to do too many tans because of the overspray and shit like that. I'd rather pay someone to do tans. But people always ask, how do you do so many things? And I just say, I just do them. And we were talking the other day, some people have personalities of not working in a place. You have a personality that I think would benefit from doing something on your own as well. And you have done on your own. You helped run a business, for sure. But there are lots of things out there. If you're creative, like selling candles, that's great, especially if you can make it unique. There are things like Rover and walking dogs. My friend's doing a laundry service right now, and she's making a killing. I don't fold my clothes. They all go in baskets. That's, if everybody has that one thing about them that you could say is a negative, that's my negative. I can't. Every few months I'll gather all my clothes and try and do a mass fold, and I'm like, oh, this is nice and less anxiety. And then I change my outfit 5 times a day. I truly do. So I have clean baskets and I have dirty baskets, and then they're just in my closet. But it's nice to have those side gigs, because you can work as much as you want while you're building something else. Yeah. So the deli, I'm not going to make money off of that for a while. Yeah. It's going to be a few months, but as soon as we get all of our licensing and shit, I want to start catering. And I look back, sometimes I'm like, why did I work at Panera, this corporate place where I was flipping sandwiches? Yeah, we were doing $2,000 in catering a day, and we had 2 different stores, but looking back at it, I built so many relationships that now that I'm starting this, I know there's so many clients at corporations and stuff around here that I can easily reach out to and be like, hey, I've got my own thing. You ready to go? They've been waiting for me to do that. So I think it's going to be great. Plus, they've had, 20 years of business there, and the town's already talking about it. And the ghost tours, 100 people in 2 weeks. So, people, I'm like the mayor. I'm not the mayor, but I'm like the mayor. Like, people know Shade now because of the ghost tours, and they love the ghost tours and everything. They loved the deli. So I feel like that's going to be great for Shade, too. But I also have somebody renting out my front room, which is fantastic. But it's kind of like, it's like, wow, Shade has been my focus for this whole time. And now I have my dream, what I've wanted to be an entrepreneur to get me to. And if you don't know me, I just want to say I have like a speech impediment or something. I may say this like every episode, maybe not. But I can't fucking pronounce shit. And my friends were telling me that they were listening to the podcast and I was fucking up words. And they're like yelling at the radio like, it's this. And I think that's just a vibe in itself, man.
Are you going to keep similar sandwiches or the same sandwiches that they had?
So, yes and no. They had a lot of sandwiches on their menu.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there needs to be that many. I want to keep it small and simple. Like, we worked at Jitters together. Love Jitters.
I'm going there later today.
I always go for their croissant breakfast sandwich. So you should definitely go there for that. I get the chipotle mayo on it, and it's bomb as fuck. But yeah, Jitters has had the same sandwiches forever. Panera, same sandwiches forever. Places like that, they have their set things, and people keep coming back for those because they know that they'll always be there. So I want to do that kind of thing. Obviously, the most, poppin' sandwiches, like a Reuben. We're going to have a Reuben. And build your own. I want to have more veggie options because there are a lot more vegetarians and gluten-free people these days. So, not going crazy with it, okay? Sometimes I think gluten-free is bullshit, but whatever.
Just have a lettuce wrap option.
Yes. So, I already have half the menu done. But I'm, like I said, trying to crank out the catering part of it. Yeah. And I'm really excited. It is going to be me by myself for a while. And then my husband will, it's weird, everyone just needs to know him as Kenny. Kenny is probably going to go there after he gets out of work in the evening. So I'll be like daytime, probably super early person. And then having Shade being rented out, that's going to help, obviously, with, like, rent and cover those costs. But in a couple months, it's going to be busy season for Shade again. So I'm excited to do this dog walking service. And if anyone needs to walk their dog, let me know. But
what was this?
That was me walking it. I think a lot of people don't realize how much money you can make on those side hustles like that. Like Instant Cart, if you work 8 hours a day, you can make $1,400 a week. And you basically make your own schedule. The thing I don't like about Instant Cart is you have to, like, sit in the parking lot and, like, wait for orders to come in and, like, quickly whatever.
Oh, yeah.
As far as the laundry service goes, like, that's pretty dope. If I could fold a shirt, I would, but there's just no way. Plus, I'm a germaphobe, so I don't know if I could handle doing someone's laundry. But that's another thing. A lot of people are doing the other things for money now, like selling their panties.
Oh, I was like, prostitution? I don't know.
I know someone selling their stuff. And I asked them the other day, I said, so you still doing that?
I didn't sigh out of disapproval, by the way. I'm just jealous. I'm sell my underwear.
So I feel like a lot of people would buy your underwear. So
hit me up. I'm just kidding. Please don't.
Well, I was thinking of starting an Only Delis since I've been having a rough time lately. But... so I asked, I said, are you still doing the sell your underwear thing? And she said, I'm doing a wear right now. I just thought it was the funniest shit ever. But people make a killing doing that shit. The thing is,
tell
though...
that person to hit me up.
Well, here's the thing. You have to talk to people.
Oh.
And, like, I know somebody else...
Never mind.
that guys literally pay for them to text and say, like talk shit to them and stuff.
Oh, I could do that.
Yeah. Or they'll have you, like, post something on social media to, like, not their names, or sometimes they do want their names, but so it seems like it's, like, a scandal or something.
Oh, see, I couldn't do any of that with my job, probably.
I don't like people apparently do, like, the mommy thing.
What? Why do you keep messing with these drawers?
Sorry, was that you or me?
It's me.
Oh, I thought it was me. So this kind of brings me to, and I got a couple more things on my dockets before we go into the ghost shit today.
Are you going to explain what the mommy thing is to me? I don't know what that is.
I don't think I want to.
Oh, I'll Google it after.
Well, people are like, I don't know, like dressing up with pigtails or making them feel like the baby and talking to them like they're the baby and acting like mommy.
Okay, that makes more sense.
You have fucking problems, people.
Hey. What do they say? Don't ick people's yum. I think that's it. Something like that. Don't yuck people's yum. There it is.
That is a new one. I have not heard that one before. By the way, one of the places that I absolutely love today, terrible customer service today. And I feel 8 out of 10 times you go somewhere and it just sucks. Like, I don't get people that say, have a good day. Which, fine. If you're busy or you're not feeling the vibe, whatever. But I shouldn't be the one always saying thank you and shit first, or like, someone asked me today did you get the breakfast sandwich? I said, nope, I got the iced coffee and the hash brown. And I don't know, I forgot what she said, but I asked if they had ketchup, or can I get a ketchup packet for my hash brown? And she said, we don't have ketchup today.
I feel like that's just the vibe everywhere now. Like, nobody is nice, ever.
And I feel our generation of people that are starting businesses, they were treated like shit from customers for so long that they kind of went and did their own thing and they got picky. Like, I've had people that I've reached out to do work for me, and they deny me, or they just ghost me, and it's like, all right, I get it. I know I'm not fucking popping yet, but everyone starts somewhere. And I think people don't take me seriously because I do so many things. But guess who's fucking doing it, bitch? Am I not fucking doing it? Who cares how many
energy?
Literally, who cares how many things I do? How does it affect your life? It doesn't. But like I said, people don't understand. Spray tans, they don't take up a lot of time.
Yeah.
I have, like, you invest, like, my CBD, the Compom, you invest in that, and then you put the time in, and then you kind of don't touch it anymore. The sales just kind of come in. You make some posts every once in a while and run a sale, but you just need a little time to invest in something. It's like stock. But Dave Ramsey pissed me off the other day.
Why?
Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he should be telling people, someone said to me the other day, you and Kenny don't share finances. And I said, no, we split bills, but we don't share a bank account or anything. And they're like, are you crazy? Like, why wouldn't you? And from someone who's been divorced and someone who's recently been divorced, I think maybe you could see why it's nice to keep your separate finances.
Yeah.
Because nobody gets married to say, I'm going to get divorced. Mm-hmm. So you get married, you put all your shit together, And then you make it harder for yourself when you are unhappy and want to leave. Because you feel like there's all these fucking requirements just because of a fucking piece of paper. And it's just that. It's just a way for the towns to make money and for there to be a label on shit. Can I tell you, when I recently left a job, I reached out to some people and I was like, good luck. I'm not there anymore, blah, blah, blah. And someone tore me a new one. Like, I never liked...
I want to hear about Dave Ramsey, though. What'd he do?
Well, Dave... Well, that's it. He's saying your finances should be together.
Oh, but he's, like, super Christian, and that's his thing, is, like, traditional American values and blah, 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 blah. Like, he's so out of touch. He's got some good ideas, but...
There are some good ideas.
He's a little delulu,
He
as the
has
kids
helped
say.
people, too.
Yeah.
But I think that, kind of going into that relationship thing, like, if you don't have trust in your relationship, what are you getting married for? Like, I can't believe, I guess at 40, almost 40 years old, 35, holy shit, pump the brakes. But at 35 years old, I don't understand jealousy anymore. There's times, like, a little bit here and there, but... I think once I hit 30, it kind of became I don't know, life is valuable. You never know when your last day is.
Yeah. You also have a really solid partner and you're in a monogamous relationship. And I feel like, there's no reason to be jealous. If you're married to one of those people who's just like, hitting everyone up on Instagram, even though they're married. I don't know.
Those people piss me off.
There are so many of them, though.
So many of them. I could see a lot of people sliding into your DMs.
People try, and I'm like, you're an asshole, and you're lucky I don't tell your wife.
Same. Every once in a while, someone will slide in and say something stupid. And I've learned, I used to, like, respond in a way that's like, yo. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't even respond.
Yeah.
Like,
they're going to do it regardless to
delete.
Somebody else, like, whatever. So.
Which, social media, I was watching something the other day. There's been a lot of famous people having stalkers.
Like Drew Barrymore?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy to think about how much you put out on social media, and you have no idea who could be obsessed with you. So it scares me, people doing those sites, like the selling the panties.
Yeah.
Because that's a pretty fucking intimate thing. Let alone, I don't walk in the bedroom going to fucking smell Kenny's underwear. Like,
I mean... Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I think it's different for people who are into that. I don't know.
I did not. If that's your thing, I'm sorry.
That's my thing? How dare you? I love a good boxer.
Speaking of my box, but
no one can see your box, by the way.
I mean, so a lot of people are listening on the radio, too, so they won't see the box. But one more thing before we get into the ghost shit on my list here. Listen, I have a detailed list. I came prepared today. What time is it? See? Perfect. So there was a article in the news recently that I'm assuming some kind of hazing took place at a high school. Football was canceled. 4 teens did something terrible to another teen.
I can't believe that still happens.
I didn't know it was happening.
Was it in the South?
No. It's in Rochester.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So, by the way, I got this THC drink, and I've been, like, playing with it. I don't even know where I got it, but it's called heirloom. Is that what that is? Heirloom?
Heirloom? Like
lemonade.
heirloom. Spelled...
Yeah, people like me can't talk, so those words are hard.
well, it's spelled... stupid.
So... I didn't know that was a thing, and I was talking to someone recently who used to play football, and they quit football because of all the hazing and shit. And they're like, fuck this shit. Like, I'm not doing that. And I didn't realize it happened. And what's scary is, like, you think about the people that were doing that shit, and now those people have kids and are coaches themselves and shit.
Yeah.
So that's terrible. And then it makes me want to never put Harry in anything.
Just teach him good boundaries and to be the kind of person that speaks out.
Yeah, he doesn't like when we swear.
Oh,
He's like, Mom.
how does he even know that that's not okay?
Well, because he started saying them.
Oh,
So we had to start telling him that they were bad words.
this is why I don't have kids. I'd be like, go for it.
So I told my medium the other day how you feel about Betsy.
Oh no.
I don't think that you're wrong. Because I think Betsy, if you haven't listened to episodes before, is a ghost at my old neighbor's house. But I think she came over to my property a lot because I think that used to be her property before.
I didn't know that.
Yes, the house next to me, that big one, or next when I was there, that house used to not exist when those houses were there.
What house?
The big one. So, not Betsy's, not mine, the one next to it.
Oh, okay.
Like, it looks like it would be the mayor's house or something.
Yeah.
So, I was, like, I feel if there's so Betsy, lived there. I feel if a ghost is that present and showing itself to not only one person, but multiple people frequently, obviously that spirit has got some unsettled business going on.
Yeah. Wait, what, how did you explain it, how I feel about Betsy? By the way, have you explained that this was a real person who lived in Churchville and died when she was, 22?
This is why I had you on.
Because people would be like, Betsy what? And that's how I used to feel when you would talk about Betsy. I would be like, who is, what? Because I didn't know your neighbor yet.
So it's also weird because I do talk about Betsy like she was a person that I have whatever before. But I feel like I can see Betsy. Like, I feel like I have seen Betsy.
Wait, but you're saying, my feelings about the spirit guide thing, or just in general, my feelings on, people, the spirit should move on, and humans shouldn't share space with them?
I think that's true.
Yeah.
I think I think the history search, and this is the vibe that my medium got, Tara said she gets more of the vibe, keep going with the history, keep digging because there's an answer in there. And then, she's helping you kind of, be in tune with that side. And you're also, looking for, this answer, maybe it could help her pass.
Oh. Like how she died?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel I get strong water vibes with Betsy. And that could just be because the creek was in the backyard.
Right.
It wasn't uncommon for people to drown back then, though, because they used that creek water for everything. Maybe she fucking rolled down that hill and hit her fucking head and drowned.
Wait, is there a hill? Oh, there is kind of a little hill.
I mean, that's
you'd have to roll. You'd have to keep rolling on purpose. You'd have to be like, trip. Oh, I don't know. Be like a weird comedy skit.
So I feel like I've been too busy to really deep dive into that spiritual aspect, but I've been watching more shows on like the cosmos and shit when I fall asleep at night to get me. I've steered away from forensic files, but I'm trying to get my brain rotating again, because when I started writing my original book, there was chapter 1, there was space is bullshit, there was we are all monkeys, and I don't know if I did mushrooms or if this was like after a stint of time where I was maybe doing acid and mushrooms. Not like
it sounds like you were in jail. A stint of time.
Well, I wouldn't say I did a lot of mushrooms and acid in my life. I can count on my fingers how many times I have done each of them. However, there was a time where I maybe did it a little bit more often. The first time I did acid, that shit's... If there's a theory that it stays in your spine, I don't know if that's real, but it was fucking there. Mm. And I could tell, like, sometimes when I would smoke weed, it would just be way more visual. Like, Dre and I were driving around one day, I saw a guy on a blue tractor.
In real life, or he wasn't there?
So it was nighttime, and it was, like, glowing. And it was, like, the outlying cloudiness of, like, a guy on a blue tractor. This was, like, 15 years ago. I don't know. Clear as day, I could still picture the shit. So I don't know if I saw something or if that was, like, the acid kicking in my spine. But as I have been doing these meditations more, we did this kind of thing where she said to picture yourself sitting behind you.
Oh, I don't like that.
And that it's like focusing like on this space around you.
Okay.
And can I'm doing it right now. It's bugging me out. That is crazy. If you sit in a meditation and you focus and you're like in it and you just picture yourself sitting behind you, it fucks with you.
So you're picturing like from the perspective of if you were sitting behind you. That sounds like step 1 of astral projection or something.
So when I picture it in my head right now, it's almost like the one sitting behind me is having movement. Like movement that's not the same moves that I am making. It's not like a crazy movement, but it's like and it's an acknowledgement that I am aware that that one's different than I am.
That one?
Yes.
Ew.
And when I have been doing meditations lately, I'll have my eyes closed and I will have like a feeling that something's in the room, or I won't have a feeling that something's in the room. But if I do start to get the feeling that something's in the room because I am asking something to come forward to help me, like let me see you, I will see like energy movement with my eyes closed, like it's over here, or like it's over here. Do you see energy shit like that?
Not like that. I can see auras sometimes, but I have to focus. I have to almost get into a meditative state, but without sitting there. Like it's like an instant shift. It happened all the time when I was doing my yoga teacher training. Like I could see auras in the yoga studio all the time.
So explain what that is that you're seeing. Like a ring of light?
Mm-hmm. Kind of. It's just like a color, like a layer of color over somebody's. It's like you're seeing the human energy field.
So when it comes to ghosts, and I don't know if we hit this last time, but when it comes to energies and ghosts, whatever is there, how do you communicate or detect them the most?
It totally depends. I haven't seen a ghost very many times. And I feel like the ones that I have seen are not intelligent hauntings, so anything that can interact with you. I think they're just kind of imprinted on time. So I think what can happen is when someone does a repetitive movement over and over in a physical space, and especially if there's heavy emotion involved, they leave an imprint. And then sometimes you can just see the imprint on time. So the story I told last time, the man walking with the lantern, I don't think my mother and I could have interacted with that spirit. I think it was just kind of imprinted on the land.
The first ghost that I seen, and I feel same, I haven't seen too many ghosts, but it's also a very vivid picture that you never forget. Mm-hmm. Even when I was 5 or 7 years old. The first one I saw was sitting at a picnic table, and I almost see like that blue energy kind of glow, see-through, smoky kind of like thing. And he was sitting at a picnic table in our backyard, and I looked out the window, and it was just like the weirdest shit. And I can picture it now, and it's almost like this thing was sitting there having lunch and didn't realize he was in like this realm. Like he had no idea. And people talk about glitches of time and shit like that. And there's definitely times where I've been like, holy shit. Or you get that deja vu feeling. And when I was writing that book, I don't know if all the acid and shit helped me be like open up. But when I start going into these dives and learning about the cosmos and time and space and all this shit, I'm like, holy fuck, that book I was writing was like, that was some shit. And I had all these index cards and whatever, and I fucking lost them, and I'm so mad.
No.
But I feel like I was writing the map to my spiritual journey when I was writing that.
Oh. Do you think you were channeling or something? Like the information was just coming through you?
That's possible.
From a guide?
I mean, I know I was high as fuck, so I was channeling that shit. But also, absolutely, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So in my class, we're trying to invite my spirit guides.
Yeah.
I explained that I can see like a group of multiple people, but they're like shadowed in. Like I don't know who they are. I don't know if they are even people. I feel like they're people. So last class I was like, I feel like I've been super busy. I haven't done my homework. I haven't meditated a lot and whatever. So I think what might help me in this class is you tell me what you see around me. So that I could be like, I'm not really feeling that. Or I could see that. And then that week I can kind of like see if I can connect with that energy or if I don't at all. Yeah. And I feel like every week it's like something new for me. Like nothing has really stuck. However, I do think Betsy is, I may be using Betsy and Betsy may be using me, but not in necessarily negative ways, in ways to like help each other in a way. Like, she may be making me aware of my senses.
Well, let me explain my perspective on Betsy too, because you said that you explained it to the medium, but so I just feel, this is why I feel like people living in the same space as a spirit is not great, because they're drawing energy from you, and they're drawing energy from your electronics and your batteries, because you can't manifest anything as a ghost without energy, and you don't get energy from biological functions because you no longer have a body. So you're not eating, you're not going out in the sun. So I personally, I'm a moody bitch as it is. I wouldn't want to share space with a spirit because they're drawing on your energy. Listen, I don't have all this energy for ghosts to be feeding on. So it can make you moody. It can cause fighting in the house if you live with another person. I don't know if it is an intelligent haunting, sometimes they'll make your stuff go missing, or I don't know. I just don't feel like it's great. And I feel like Betsy in particular is somebody who seems very attached to that space and attached to her life. And I just feel like if she moved on, it would be better for her. Like, she seems like a very restless spirit, you know?
I felt that way in that house. And I also, in my house, not Betsy's house, I felt that way in my house, but I also felt like there was multiple energies that were like that. Like, I had Betsy coming over, but I also had, like, some other woman in my house. I had this fucking guy in my kitchen.
Oh, yeah, the guy one freaks me out the most, I think.
Me too. And another person that I see as, like, a tall, skinny thing. And this is where you decide, are you fucking nuts or are you seeing shit? And I think a lot of the medium stuff, to describe it at first, is, you know, you are sitting in silence and you are trying to connect with somebody or something, and these things do come to your mind and your head. And it has been proven that people could say, like, is there, like, premonitions? There's been many times in my life where I have had premonitions. I had a premonition before someone I knew passed away, like 2 weeks before. And it was really weird because I was like, I don't know why, but these initials, like, those are my friend's initials, and it has, like, this date. And I feel like something bad's going to happen on that date, and it did. So I have had fucked up, crazy premonitions like that. And people have that all the time. So I am seeing that is kind of what mediumship is understanding the information that we are given.
Yeah, and it's what you're doing right now is, you know, your door was naturally open like this, and you're opening it more and more and more.
It's scary, but there's this man that I saw the time before, and then she was kind of explaining somebody that looked like the guy that I saw the week before. So she actually mentioned something like he's not new. And I was like, I wonder if it's this guy. So she's like, just, do any names come to your mind? Like, blah, blah, blah. And at first, the name Simon came up, but, like, real quick, it was like, no. Like, it was almost like, no, that's not it. It's Felix. So I was thinking about it, and there is Felix's on my parents' or on my dad's side. However, one thing I'm learning in this also is that just because you have spirit guides or something, it does not mean that those people have came from your family. It's like being at a red light and there being a car accident there, and then there's another car accident there like 20 years later, or, you know, something that takes energy from somebody, whether it's positive or negative, it stays in that area. And I feel like that's why some spots are more active in energy-wise, because people leave energy.
Okay, I just had a realization. So I think when you're using the term spirit guide, I think that is not how I use the term spirit guide. I think this person is teaching you mediumship.
Yes.
Okay. Spirit guides to me are more like Seth, which we talked about the last time, the entity that came through, and this was, I a person, I guess, but someone who had lived many lives, whose lives overlapped with the woman channeling and her husband who was writing down all the information. To me, spirit guides are more like a team that you have. So when you're saying you see, like, you know, spaces around you, I agree with that. I think people have a team, but it's more like energy. It's people who have lived many lifetimes and have progressed past the point of needing to have a physical body. So I think sometimes people can find out names like Seth and even see a physical presentation, but that would kind of just be how the guide is choosing to present. I think Seth even explains that. It's like, I think there's a part of the book where he projects his face onto a painting, and that's kind of just how he chose to present at that time. Because if you don't need a body, then you don't really have a form to present to anybody.
So it's interesting you say that, because when I am doing my things with Tara, we do Zoom, and she's been at Shade before.
Yeah.
Her face, like, transformed between, like, my mom and my aunt sometimes. And it's, like, weird to me because it's not in a way where, like, she necessarily looks like them, but it's like something is making me just feel relatable almost.
Yeah. Like she's part of your path or something.
So it fucking freaks me out when that happens, but it happens, like, a lot. And one thing that's been happening is, if you've ever been on Zoom, there's, like, little emojis that you have to actually touch your phone and use these emojis. Yeah. And we will be talking about my spirit guides or quote unquote asking something to come forward or whatever. And all of a sudden, like, the screen will start doing thumbs up and waves and shit. Like, every time. And I could tell you, any time that I am on a Zoom call and something, like, that never happens.
Yeah, that's freaky.
It's freaking weird. And my shit's recorded. I should ask her if we could,
Where does she put those? Does she put them on YouTube, or?
No, she just sends them to me.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you can refer back to them.
Yeah, this drink isn't terrible, by the way. I'm not, like, a sweet, sweet drink person.
Yeah.
But it is good. I wonder it's 5 milligrams. I wonder how long I'd take to get fucked up on this. So she was explaining kind of the energies, you know, it can be someone from a different family that we've had or a different, like, past life. And I was kind of stuck on her saying that because I don't even know how to explain it, but there's basically, like, different existences. Okay, so when I was writing that book, I had this deja vu section, and I explained deja vu moments and also, like, looking in the mirror. So if you're looking in the mirror, it takes time for the information, like, it takes time for your reflection to travel to that mirror and then to travel back. Mm-hmm. So, like, in between that time of traveling, is it a glitch? Like, is my existence in those other spaces living alternate lives, and then we intersect sometimes?
There is a theory like that. I think it's called multi-universe theory, maybe, where, have you ever seen the movie Another Earth, where there's another Earth that keeps coming closer and closer to Earth, and then they start being able to communicate with everybody on that Earth, and everyone has their own duplicate, and so there's, like, a trip where a group of people applies to go to the other Earth to meet their other self or whatever. Anyways, that's not really what the theory is about, but it's kind of like more dimensional, like that there's an infinite number of dimensions and that we're kind of living the same life, but almost like the butterfly effect. Like, on the other existences, you've made other choices and your life is completely different because every choice you make matters.
I think they came out with a bunch of classified documents, the FBI or...
Oh, the CIA documents. Yeah, there's, like, a missing document.
So I was looking into digging into those, but also, like, last night I was trying to find, like, a movie on past lives, and I did the search on the whole Roku, not just in Netflix or anything, and nothing pops up.
Huh.
Like, the only thing that pops up is things on, like, YouTube and shit like that. But it's crazy because these cultures, and I think there's even, like, what they describe some things in the Bible is almost like these meditative things that these other places. Everyone has their different theories and fucking, whatever you want to believe. But there are a lot of main consistencies in these major religions and cultures and shit that are just described in a different way.
Like the Great Flood is documented, like, cross-culturally, that there was a Great Flood, like Noah's Ark.
I'm listening to this fucking Cosmo show last night. How the fuck do they know that these motherfuckers were here, like, 100,000 years ago?
Who?
I can't even find anybody from 1800. I can't find Betsy's fucking birthday in 1822. It's not 1822. But
I thought you did find her birthday.
We thought, but now we can't find it. And now she's not on any of the Save a Grave sites or whatever.
No, you did find it. I clearly remember you sending a birth date. Because I remember her being a Capricorn. That's the only reason I remember.
What month is Capricorn?
December. Or early January.
She died in January.
Oh.
So maybe that's it?
Now I'm like, wait, was it a September birthday and she was a Virgo? I don't know.
Now it's tough, but I have been trying to, like, now that I moved everything in the back room at Shade, so now it's just like when spray tans come in, I just go over, I don't gotta fuck with shit. Crystal's gonna do her thing in the front room, and then, I'm worrying about the deli. And I'm excited that we're not trying to rush it, because it is going to be a lot of shit that we're going to need for the deli. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to do the catering. I fucking ran that shit at Panera. Like, I had my fucking ribbons. People loved the ribbons. Other stores started doing the ribbons. Like, I loved doing that. And it was like, the hour sucked because I had to get there so early in the morning. But you're done by like 1 o'clock. That was so nice. But now I kind of have time to where I'm not stressing out so much, even though I'm trying to open a deli, that I can meditate every night. And I do want to start trying to meditate in the morning too, but I do think maybe I want to touch base on this journey and kind of continue my book that I started, like the spaces bullshit theory. I look up at that sky. Someone said the Starlink was going by the other day, so I was staring up in the space and I was fucking bugging out. Like, out where I am, there's so many stars, and even looking up there for 10 minutes straight, you're like, I cannot believe how much shit is going on up there all day, every day, and no one fucking even looks up. Like, it just blows my mind. And then I always start tripping out, and that's where I start getting into my time and space shit. But, like, fuck. The space is bullshit. How do I know that exists? I've never fucking been there. I sure as fuck am not getting in a spaceship. I can't even handle a Ferris wheel. So, try a Ferris wheel on acid. Now that fucking is nuts.
Nope.
Did it. After we watched Robert Plant, though, so tell me that ain't the shit. Also, I'm going to see Bush next week at Town Ballroom. Town fucking Ballroom.
I don't know what that is.
It's a small venue in Buffalo, and it's awesome for shows. I saw Bone Thugs there. I was like the fucking...
Take videos.
Dude, it's going to be so good. And he's very interactive with the crowd, so I feel like he gets down and shit. Maybe not, because that one's so small, but... That's going to be dope. Also, Smashing Pumpkins is going on tour with Green Day. And I listened to Smashing Pumpkins on my way here to get pumped up because that's what we used to listen to together. And I'm very upset that when I saw them, it was ruined because of the whole fucking Vegas shooting thing. and like Darien Lake did like fireworks or something, and it like spooked us, and it was like we may even left a little early, but the anxiety that time, it was like COVID, then fucking shootings, and I still get a little bugged out at concerts, but concerts are still my shit. But yeah, so maybe how do I know space exists if I'm never going to go there?
My response is, who cares? I don't know. That's my response. I don't really care if space is real. It doesn't affect my life. That sounds very narcissistic, but like, I like watching videos about the different theories that like the moon is a big space station and it has like, you know, a core that people live in and stuff. Like, those are fun, but it doesn't necessarily matter if space is real or not, or if the moon is real or not.
Do you think, because there are a lot of like mediums and people that are aware of other maybe planets, like some believe that pieces of you from different you may have come from somewhere else and then been dropped here.
Like starseed?
Yes. Do you think you have ever been on a different planet?
You know, I wanted to make a Uranus joke. I don't know. Maybe.
Or
I don't think so.
Maybe one of those
I've always been here.
those levels underneath, like the underground cities and shit that used to exist. I feel
On
like
Earth?
I've lived under the ground.
I was in Atlantis.
Maybe. Maybe, man. I was in Vietnam.
I've had flashes of past lives, but they're literally nothing remarkable. It's just like mundane shit from the past. But especially when I was little, I had flashes a lot more of, I think, my last life. But it would be like I was looking down and I was wearing a dress, or I don't know. It wasn't anything crazy.
I guess that's weird. So when I've been trying to find my grandma's house in Leroy, like who first lived there, and I went to the historical society the other day, and when I called them because I had reached out during COVID and it wasn't open, but they said they had files on someone who may have owned the mills there. So I reached out. They said tomorrow there would be someone Allie there, and the next day there would be someone Lily. I don't know why, but the Allie name stuck out to me, and I said, I'm going to go with Allie on Thursday. So I stopped by, and when I walk in, there's just something about her. To be fair, she wears like kind of old-fashioned glasses. She's 25. She wears like an old-fashioned glasses, kind of octagon window kind of style. I don't know. There was just something about her. So then I was talking about my grandma's house and where it was, and she goes, oh, my grandma's house is around there too. Leroy's huge, but also Leroy's also small. So wouldn't it be crazy if we knew someone who knew someone?
Yeah.
However, her grandma was friends with my grandma and lived at the end of the road. And before she told me where the house was, I immediately thought the name of who I was thinking of. And then she told me where the house was, and I thought the way she was describing it, she was going to describe it like across the street, and then that wouldn't have been her, and I'm like, oh shit. But sure enough, it was her, and I was like, so we're sitting there, and she's like looking up stuff, and I'm looking up stuff, and I feel like we keep like looking up, like, you know, and I could tell that we have the same energy and like thought, like, how weird is that? Like, I'm coming to find information on my grandma's house, and I feel like there's this underground world or level that I fucking need to uncover for my life to be complete. Like, there's something about that property my whole life I've been trying to figure out. And I finally, like, go and I get a step closer, and this girl's there.
Who owns the property now?
My uncle and my aunt, I think.
Why don't you go meditate on the property?
That God.
Also, read that Jane Roberts
I
ESP
know.
book.
I
think
know.
that's going to open something for you.
Maybe I'll start that this weekend. I do have a few books I have open right now. I have been reading some meditation books too. But it's going to be interesting. I do still feel like a connection with mushrooms. And she said the man that I thought was Felix. And then she also talked about a woman. And she said the woman gives her like witchy vibes, kind of like holistic. Kind of woman, almost like suffragette, but not really kind of thing. So she told me to focus on those two this week. And I feel I have always kind of felt like a witchy connection to somebody in the past. I always thought maybe that might be my great-grandma Joyce. But Tara said she got the vibe that it was someone from a different family, a different whatever.
Now, when you say witchy, do you mean like folk medicine or do you mean like practicing actual witchcraft? Because I think a lot of times people think of like a great grandma being witchy when they were just doing like normal country people shit.
I would say folk, however, I do think because her house was so haunted and stuff happened there and stuff, I think she was very much into spiritual shit. My mom gave me these horoscope books from like 1976. Have I showed you a picture of those?
Yeah. Well, no, I was over and like flipping through them with you one time.
So I have those. Those are my grandma's, my great-grandma's. So I think she was into like a different level of shit. So this drink was actually good. I think it might be like working. I like having you on.
Hey.
You were talking about doing a podcast soon.
Well, I'm writing one, but it would be like fictional tales.
I love that. And I feel that I also could help you as far as when I come across spooky stories in my history searches, I can pass them along to you.
Yeah, because it's going to be based on Churchville, so.
Which I just love. We thought about doing like a throwback Churchville name for the deli.
Yeah. Have you picked a name yet?
I think we're going to go with Harrison's.
Respectable.
And I'm trying to convince Kenny to let me do the colors that I want since I'm losing the colors at Shade.
What colors are they?
I want to do green. I love a good 70s, 80s ugly green.
Oh, like an olive green?
Like shade green.
Oh, like the bright.
It's like Crayola green almost.
Yeah, okay.
But
green.
I love that. It gives me a mood, and we want to maybe play off of the Harrison thing since we named him after George Harrison and do like Beatles pictures on the walls, pop culture, like Stevie Ray Vaughan, shit like that. Also, mine and Kenny's thing is kind of like going to concerts, and we both love music. And I think music is spiritual for me too. I get more of a deep meditation when I listen to the Beatles versus when I listen to actual like sound bowls and shit. But I also think that I had a lot of lives between like the 60s and 80s.
A lot of lives?
Yes.
Oh.
A few for sure. At one point in the 80s, I definitely looked like Freddie Mercury and lived in New York City.
Do you think you just kept dying like really young?
Yes. I think I did.
Oh no.
Something tells me 102 for this one, so
Damn.
we're gonna fucking see if it. I want to be able to see Harry as long as I possibly can in this existence. As long as I am healthy and able to do it. I'm gonna Betty White this shit.
I'm hoping to be like a solid 88 and like one of those people who's like, I was gonna say still riding a bike. I fucking hate riding bikes, so that wouldn't be what I'm doing. But just still hula hooping.
I have a 1970 Schwinn. I got a Schwinn collection actually, so I be riding, I be rolling. Well, Melinda, thank you for coming on today.
Yeah.
I am excited for your new adventures, my new adventures, and maybe you'll come on again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe next month.
Yep.
Okay, peace out, Stoney Balonies.
Wait, I just looked at myself. What an idiot.
This is good.
Are they sponsoring the show?
No, I just picked it up.
Manifesting that shit.